Hello, it's the November the 22nd, 2020, 4:12, and forgive the hair. I got to get into the barber. We have lockdowns, cool downs, AirDrie, Alberta, Safeway, and it's an AirDrie coronavirus audit. Herdman media, and the city of AirDrie is going crazy. I mean, psychotically in many cases. We're told that we have the highest case rate in Canada of the China virus. I checked the website and there's no deaths, and we have a hospital right across the road. Good going, Mayor Brown. It should be 400 cases, 700 cases, 1,000 cases, and no deaths. Perhaps that's because we have the youngest population in one of the youngest populations per capita in Canada. But anyway, there's been a call to alarm for Mayor Brown and company Premier to mask everybody up. But they're not telling people that we have a constitutional right that trumps the Emergency Measures Act federally and the Emergency Measures Act provincially, which is nothing more than the War Measures Act, that I don't have to wear a mask. But I happen to have a medical grade double port N950 mask right here. Of course, if I had the coronavirus, I'd be infecting everybody because my raw air blows out through these ports. What it's designed to do, if I get in here close, it's a NIOSH grade OV approved filters. And so after use in the hospital, if we wore one of these, we would put the filter in the bag for 2 hours at 140 in the oven. But I'm going to put the mask on because I don't want to be shot, beaten to the ground, arrested trespassing, as RCMP officers have been told to do to citizens. Less than 48 hours ago at Costco, Rockyview, Balzac, I was standing in the tire line, hand them my keys with a tire appointment for my winter tires. There was 2 Costco managers named TODD and BRENDA watching, and this lady traveled at least 15 feet to attack me. My face, my arms, my cell phone camera smashed onto the ground, battery splayed, knocked me right to my knees. And I stood in line for service while both managers did nothing to mitigate the assault on their property. They're liable on civil tort law for the behavior of all their guests and all their staff and all their damages. And I assume somebody would be calling the police. They were trying to get me to wear this, or there's some sand and food debris in there. That face shield, and first I claimed the mask exemption, and then of course we have the Human Rights Act and various statutes that say they need to accommodate me. And I was beaten to the ground. They didn't stop the beating, and I stood in line for my tires, and They used their radios to instruct all the tire staff that saw the beating not to serve me. Now, I assume somebody would have called the police. Constable D. Hilton arrived, and I thought, he's arriving to, help me. I'm a victim of a criminal assault. He did not, and then he's charging me with criminal trespass. Follow him. I said, oh, hold on. I'm under the security cameras. I was just beaten to the ground in front of these two people. Is that not why you're here? Come with me. He got me outside the doors of Costco, and Brenda and Todd are like 2 feet away. Constable Hilton, Dave Hilton, and another cop had arrived. And you've been detained. I want some ID. Negative. You're not getting my driver's license because I wasn't driving. I'm not driving. I'm not anywhere near a car. And what are you charging me with? It's trespass, detaining me. Meanwhile, Todd and Brenda are standing there saying they had asked me to leave. They never asked me to leave inside Costco because I was legally standing in the line with no mask, because when I went through the entrance doors, I clearly asked the lady for a mask exemption, and I said, I'm going to the tire shop. And Todd and Brenda and Costco Corporation have to legally accommodate me. So they never did, at the point of the assault, before the assault or after the assault, ask me to leave the store because they had no lawful purpose. They have to have a lawful purpose to ask you to leave the store. They can't discriminate because you're a Jew or because of your low income status, because of your disability, the type of clothes you wear, a gaiter across your face. And so I caution both Todd and Brenda that misleading a police officer and giving false information to a police officer is obstructing of justice, jail, and a trial. And whereupon Dave Hilton dismissed them. Another police officer pulled up. Initially, Constable Dave Hilton wanted to put me in the lockup inside his SUV, and I declined to go inside into the jail cell inside his vehicle. And the black SUV pulled up with a uniformed cop, and he said, oh, that's Mr. Herdman. And Dave Hilton said, no longer under arrest, no longer detained. I then said, I want you to go inside. I need statements from both Todd and Brenda, and I want you to secure the rooftop video and the entrance video for a tort lawsuit in civil court and criminal charges. He was in maybe 5-10 minutes while I talked to a third RCMP officer that arrived. And Dave Hilton hangs his hat at Airdrie Detachment, where I live. And he never did interview me. He never did ask me questions about the assault. He arrived to arrest me for criminal trespass. Therefore, I am 99% positive he's not going to investigate this further. Criminal charges. He arrived to arrest me. So I'm going to do the same video in front of the Airdrie RCMP in a few minutes and watch what my request is. Thank you.